Prayers.
Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliament for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. Amen.
Communication from the chair.
Honorable members, today's sitting marks the end of this ordinary session. That is the third ordinary session of the Assembly in the 2023 legislative year. This was precisely a 3-week ordinary session with lots of businesses. The session also witnessed the tabling of important private member bills and legislative processes of critical bills, including other important motions and reports. Honorable members, as has always been said, the business of the plenary assembly can never be exhausted. We will therefore today start the motion and adjournment debate to adjourn this ordinary session, signed I. Therefore, I wish to welcome His Excellency the Vice President and all honorable ministers here in present to attend this very important sitting of the Assembly, being the adjournment debate. This is a unique sitting of the Assembly at the end of each ordinary session, allowing honorable members the opportunity to discuss and debate on cross-cutting issues, which of course requires the attention of the executive. At the appropriate time of the debate, I will invite His Excellency the Vice President and honorable ministers to also participate in the debate and response to issues raised regarding their portfolios. Honorable members, the adjournment of this session is a moment of reflection and anticipation as we temporarily suspend our legislative proceedings. As the Honorable Speaker, it is both an honor and duty to offer a few words as we mark the conclusion of our current session. Our parliamentary journey over the course of this session has been marked by spirited debates, diverse viewpoints, and a collective commitment to the betterment of our society. We have grappled with complex issues, navigated the ebbs and flows of politics, and made decisions that will impact the lives of our constituents for years to come. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to guide us after robust debates to reach conclusions that would go to benefit our electorates. It is a testament to the strength of our democracy that we can come together from various walks of life, representing different consequences and ideologies, to engage in this noble endeavor. Honorable members, during this session, we have sought to address the pressing concerns of our time, from economic challenges to environmental crisis, from social justice issues to the safeguarding of liberties. We have seen the power of the democratic process in action, where ideas are tested, refined, and sometimes transformed through the crucible of debate and the deliberations. The work we do here in this hallowed chamber is not just a matter of policy and legislation. It is a reflection of our commitment to the people we serve. It is about improving their lives, enhancing their opportunities, and safeguarding their rights. It is about striving for a more just and equitable society. As we adjourn this session, let us take a moment to express our gratitude to the dedicated public servants of these institutions who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make our legislative process possible. Their dedication ensures that our democracy remains robust and functional. In the days and weeks to come, I encourage each of us to reflect on the work we have accomplished during this session and work that lies ahead. Let us continue to engage with our constituents, seek their feedback, and work collaboratively across party lines for the greater good of our nation. In closing, I want to express my appreciation for your commitment, passion, and dedication to service of your country. As we adjourn, let us carry forward the lessons learned, the bonds forged, and the spirit of cooperation that defines our democratic institution. Together, we can build a brighter future for all. Honorable members, we will sit to finish the adjournment debate today. The Office of the Clerk shall provide the necessary meals, that's dinner, if the circumstances demand. I thank you all. I now call on the clerk to proceed.
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 20th September 2023.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of Wednesday, of National Assembly sittings of Wednesday, 20th September 2023 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move a motion for the said record of votes and proceedings? Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move for the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 20th September 2023 be considered and approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any seconder, honorable members? Honorable nominated member Maimuna Sise.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 20th September 2023 be considered and approved. Honorable members, I think we all have copies of the said record of votes and proceedings. As usual, we will look through it page by page, beginning with page 1. Any honorable member who has any observations may do so. We're starting with page 1. Page 1. We now move to page 2. Yes, honorable member for Jara Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought that you have seen my talk. Page 1, Item number 3, questions for oral answers. Standing orders. The orders would have S, 36 and 41.
Noted.
Thank you.
Honorable members, item number 3 on page 1, the standing order in brackets, the order should take an S. Any more on page 1? We now move to page 2. We now move to page 3, honorable members. Honorable member for Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as per the correction made yesterday by the Honorable Member for Jara Central, under the names, the first names, after 51, you have the following members. He was insisting that you put the Honorable there. All right, thank you.
That is the following honorable members. Honorable member for Talinding.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. The last paragraph on the questions. Question number 253, 2023, Honorable Member for Opanyomi asked, answered, and generated no supplementary question, which were asked. I think should be no supplementary questions were asked. If there is none, so it should be, the which should be removed. No supplementary question was asked. Are we together?
We do.
Yes.
I don't know, and generated no supplementary questions. That in itself means no questions were. Yeah, which were asked. Which were asked should be removed, huh? Which were answered, yeah. Thank you very much. It appears in almost all of them. Am I right? The one before number 1 as answered. No, this one and this one generated supplementary questions.
Okay. Yes, but it has appeared somewhere else, Honorable Speaker.
So, honorable members, the corrections are noted. We now move to page 4. Pardon? Page 4. Now we move to page 5, honorable members. Honorable member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. The beginning of page 5, question number 246. one supplementary question which were answered. So it should have been which was answered. And if you go to,
Let's get that first.
you get that one.
Honorable members, on top of the page, number 9. And said, and generated one supplementary question, one. And therefore, you cannot use where, which was answered. The where should be was. Yes, Honorable Mbafu, continue.
The same thing when you, after 14, you have Roman figure 3, then you have 1. That is 214. The same situation there. One generating one supplementary question which was answered should be. Those are the two places.
Number 14, after number 14, you have Roman 3. Then following number Roman 3, you have Roman 1, number 1. That is question number 214. The same thing, one question was asked and one question was answered. So which was answered? Any more on page 5?
Member for Tumanda.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm sorry, I want to take you back to page 1. Yes, please. Honorable Alagie S. Dabo, Birkama North, and bracket minority leader. I want to suggest we should use Birkama North and minority leader instead of putting minority leader in a bracket. That's what I want to suggest. And the same implies to all the other following ones. That is Ablai Sise, Madi Sise, and Omar Dabo, and Suleiman Sao. We should use "and" instead of putting their title on the bracket. That's what I want to suggest. Yes.
It looks like that had been the practice over the period.
Look at the grammar. That means that the minority leader is defining Birkama North. And I think there are two separate titles. They should stand alone.
Can you stand up, please?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I think there are two different titles, and they should not be there to define each other.
Honorable, anyway, honorable members, you've heard the observations. We allow comments or observations also.
Speaker. Speaker.
My legal advice is, they are telling me we are here because of our consequences. It is out of that we acquired our various positions. So it is as good as minority Alagie S. Dabo, Birkama North, and then minority leader in brackets. It means he's the minority leader. All right, but you know, it's your record of votes and proceedings. So what do you want? We leave it as it is. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Okay then. That's fine. Honorable members, we are on page 5, am I right? We now move to page 6. Pardon? Page 5, yes, maybe here.
Hello? Page 5. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. When you go to page 5, the second paragraph, that is number 5. Second line. Number for Nianija and generated, there is a dash between.
Are we on the same page?
Sorry.
Page 5. Because there is no number 5 on page 5.
No, we've already done page 5.
Yeah, I was saying, okay, you now going to page 6, huh? Yeah, let's have somebody who has an issue on page 5. Honorable Member for Talinding. Pardon? Okay. All right. Then let's have you just continue on 6.
The second paragraph,
Which number?
number 5, the second paragraph, question 218, yes. The number of supplementary questions generated is not mentioned. And again in number 6 too.
And generated supplementary questions.
Yes, the number.
You want us to mention, as usual, the number of supplementary questions.
It generated, it's not mentioned.
Okay. No, Honorable Table Office. And then where again, Honorable?
Again, under the Roman figure, the first number 2, the same issue appeared again, which were answered should be removed. Number 2, yeah.
And generated no supplementary questions.
Yes.
Which were answered, yeah.
Yes.
So number 2, on page 6, question number 255, the last words which were answered should be removed. Any more, Honorable Member for Talinding?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Honorable Member for Woodley. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Any more on page 6? Honorable Member for Talinding? Okay. On page, we now move to page 7. Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On page 7, if you look at the second to last paragraph, it says, the corrections sent to the Honorable Minister for Information were not within his remit. Thus, the Honorable Minister for release. So it should be the Honorable Minister was released. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, second to last paragraph, we start with the words, the question sent to the Honorable Minister. The second line, Honorable Minister for released. The four should be changed to was released. Any more on page 7? Yes, on, who is saying yes?
West.
Nyamina West.
Okay, on this same line, if you continue, where it states, and the question would be redirected. Instead of question, add S. So have questions. It was more than one.
Thank you very much. As you continue, was released and the questions, not question. Thank you very much. Any more on page 7? Woolly East?
Yes, thank you. Immediately before that paragraph, under 9, the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment was not in town. Was not in the chambers, we know. Do we confirm that he was not in town? We know that he was not in the chambers, but to say that he was not in town, is that confirmed?
We've just confirmed that Yes, he's out of town. Thank you very much. We now move to page 8. Ponyi Bondali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On page 8, motion without notice, 53. With the permission of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable C.D. S. Kenjai move a motion for reconsideration stage of the interpretation of the words undue advantage on clause 2 of the Anti-Corruption Bill 2023 before third reading. Honorable Biram J. Eso, member for Nyamina West, seconded the motion. Question put and accordingly agreed to. The ayes 16 votes and 14 votes should be the noes.
Noted. Thank you very much. Any more on page 8? Huh? Member for list.
Yes, I think you need to check whether this is the motion moved by the Deputy Speaker. Is that the motion moved by the Deputy Speaker?
Yes, that was the motion.
That was the motion. Okay.
Yesterday we had only 2 motions that passed. The minority and the Deputy Speaker.
The Deputy Speaker was talking about clause 68. And wherever the word undue advantage comes in.
He was talking about the interpretation,
Yes.
wherever that word undue advantage appears.
Yes, so that should be captured.
Yes.
Yes, but it's not.
I've got his direct wordings written down, and it's with us. Lower Saloum.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, may I also suggest this? We have 2 voting patterns, yes or no, but the abstains are not recorded. And normally we have abstentions.
No,
It should be recorded, I think.
Yeah, that one will come. So far, we have not recorded it. That one cannot be recorded now. How would you know?
No, but
You can make a proposal at the end of everything to talk about how we go about with recording.
then I propose that any moment.
No, when we finish the minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Honorable members, we now move to page 9. Honorable member for Sabak Sanyal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On page 9, the first paragraph. With the permission of the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lamin Sise, member for Kiang West, moved a motion to introduce a new clause. Deleted clause is not spelled correctly there, in bracket.
Deleted clause, it should not be deleted clause, C-L-A-U-S-E. The L should be there. Yes, go ahead. That is it.
That was the only one.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other observations or comments on member for Wool list?
Yes, thank you. I think even before Honorable Suleiman Sao, it was the minority leader that moved a motion. And that motion is not captured. Where? Where is it captured? Or I have a different page.
Honorable, do you have anything on this particular page? Do you have anything more on this particular page? No. Now you are now talking about an omission, probably. Now he is asking whether the minority, is it there? Talking about. sorry, honorable member for Woolies. Which one, is it about minority or Suleiman? Which one are you talking about? Which is not captured? The minority, I think, is captured. Is captured. And even honorable Suleiman's is captured. All are captured. Now, the honorable member for Lower Saloum, you were saying something.
Yes, I want to propose the way the voting pattern is recorded to also consider the abstentions, because if you check on our desk mic, we have 3 patterns of voting: no, yes, and absentees. So those ones are absent to be recorded. Yes. To be
No, I told you are talking about
abstains. No, the way I pronounce it, abstain, I mean. For voting, yes.
Honorable, those who are not around, you don't consider them. We are talking about those saying yes, no, and those who are abstaining. Am I right?
Yes. That's the term of the,
Honorable member for Shame.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to clarify what the Honorable member for Lower Saloum wanted to state.
No, it's honorable member. It's understood.
Okay, all right.
It's understood. It's not absenteeism, but those who abstained from voting. He is saying we record those who are agreeing, those saying no, and those who are abstaining. That's what his proposal is. So, honorable members, is on the floor. Henceforth, when they are making records of votes and proceedings, and when we are doing or counting or voting, we should record the yes, the no's, and those abstaining also. Are you in agreement or you are not in agreement? It means silence. It means if there are no objections, it means it's accepted. BANJUL North.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to second the motion of the member for Lower Saloum. That is
He has not moved a motion. He has made a suggestion. If you want it to be in the motion form, sorry, we can ask him to. This is just including in our voting systems. You have it. He's just asking that we include it. Honorable, can you put it in the form of a motion?
No, but I think already the unanimous agree now. It doesn't need for motion.
Let's just put it in a motion. It will be seconded, and I will put it to vote.
Honorable Speaker, I raise a motion. Anytime voting pattern is recorded, the absentees should also be abstained to be recorded.
Any seconder? BANJUL North.
Again, I rise to second the motion, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that anytime we recording votes, it should include those who have abstained. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. We have agreed. Take note, Office of the Clerk. Yes, who is speaking?
You conclude on the record, because I have observation on the records before you conclude. Yes, if you look at the last on the adjournment at 25 minutes after 5 o'clock in the evening, according to my time when we are closing, it was not 25. It was sometime 5 minutes to 6, because I had moved a motion here that we sit beyond 6th, and when I was moving, my time was almost 5:30. Thank you.
Honorable member, do you know the time we actually closed? All right, we will take that because I can definitely agree that at the time you wanted to move the motion, it was almost past. And after that, we debated. We continue to debate. I think the table office should try to be recording actual times. Please. Honorable members. Yes, minority.
Page 9. The last motion, the one that was moved by Honorable Member for Chiang West. After the motion was not carried, we should have the motion without notice 53H written under that, as it applied to all other motions before the adjournment.
That's the last page, am I right?
Page.
Yeah, it is motion without notice, number 3, notices.
53H.
Yeah, 53H.
No, where we have it under the motion, not on top. No, please, check. There's a
I want to believe that the line drawn separates it from it.
It's okay.
Okay. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 20th September 2023 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Motion. No, not yet. For another one.
Show the man in the one. I heard somebody shout a motion. Yes? Is it Woolly East? Yes?
Yes, thank you. Under 53K, Honorable Speaker, I want to move a motion that communication from the chair is part of our agenda, everyday agenda, and every time the speaker makes a communication, it should be printed and provided to all the members, not to wait until the answer. That's my motion. I'm moving a motion so that all these communications are provided in writing to the members. Thank you.
He is moving a motion that communication from the speaker be distributed to members. Any seconder? Nianija, honorable member for Nianija.
Seconded, motion seconded.
Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded. Yeah. It's been moved and seconded that henceforth communications made by the Speaker should be circulated to honorable members. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Okay, the office of the clerk and table office will note that. Can we proceed?
Bills, Orders 74 and 75, third reading of the Constitution Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Amadou Camara, member for Nianija, stepping in for Honorable Alagie Mbow, member for Upper Saloum.
Honorable members, you will recall that the consideration stage of the Constitution Amendment Bill 2023 was concluded on Monday, 18 September 2023. Accordingly, today is appointed for the third reading in accordance with Order 75. I will now invite Honorable Amadou Camara, member for Nianija, stepping in for Honorable Alagie Mbow, member for Upper Saloum, to move a motion for the third reading of the bill entitled Constitution Amendment Bill 2023. Honorable member, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move that the bill entitled Constitution Amendment Bill 2023 be read a third time and passed.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable member for Old Yundum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled Constitution Amendment Bill 2023, having gone through the consideration stage with amendments, be read a third time and passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you can read the short title of the bill.
Constitution Amendment Bill 2023.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The bill is deemed to have been passed. Clerk, can we proceed?
Bills, Order 75, the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Amadou Camara, member for Nianija.
Honorable members, you will recall that the consideration stage of the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 was concluded on Monday, 18 September 2023. Accordingly, today is appointed for the third reading in accordance with Order 75. I therefore now invite Honorable Amadou Camara, member for Nianija, to move a motion for the third reading of the bill entitled Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023. Honorable member.
Motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Motion. Okay.
I rise to move that
somebody is saying something. After, please, yes.
I rise to move that the bill entitled Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 be read a third time and passed.
Honorable.
Any honorable member?
Yes.
Woolly East?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker.
No,
Honorable...
I want somebody to second the bill. Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
There's a little issue there. I rise to move a motion on the clause 75(2). 75(2), which reads, amendments for the correction of error or oversight may with the Speaker's permission be made before the question for third reading of the bill is put, but no amendments of a material character shall be proposed. So what I'm proposing is the error we had in the amendment of section 26, 6A and B, where we have a stringent regulatory authority, which we move the A, the word A. I'm proposing that we bring back the A as per the expert opinion I've had, and I'm convinced. Thank you. You understand what I'm saying?
So, honorable member, you are moving that the A we removed through your intervention be reinstated. Pardon?
Hey, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Point of order.
Honorable member for Central Badibu.
Honorable Speaker, Order 74(1) states that if any member desires to leave out or amend provision contained in a bill following consideration stage or to introduce any new provision, therein he or she may at any time before the person in charge of the bill rises to move to the third reading of the bill. I think honorable member of Nianija already moved the motion. So why is it now coming? No, mine is 74. I'm talking on 74. Let the speaker rule, please.
Honorable, a motion is good enough when it is seconded. So if this is something, it's just as per the clauses referred to by the honorable mover of this thing. This is not substantive. It's not introduction of a new clause. So can we have somebody to second what the honorable member for Woolley is said? Banjul North.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Yes, it has been moved and seconded that with reference to amendment to the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023, Section 3, sub 6A and B. A, we should read, shall list the countries it considers to have stringent regulatory authority, should have A should be reintroduced, a stringent regulatory authority, and the same for B, to have a stringent regulatory authority from time to time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. And yeah, just I have forgotten who are those who, but we have not voted. Honorable member for Latrikunda.
Sometimes we let ourselves so confused easily. I always told Honorable Ture, when we deal with law, this is not the newspaper edition. You see, when we say stringent and stringent, these are the same things. Why do you waste the time?
Honorable, I think we have just passed that. I think when errors are made, we should be bold enough to correct it and then put it across. And I think the honorable member did fine. He moved it, and then he is now saying that he has accepted that it should be part of it. It was, I don't think it was ill-intentioned. Honorable member for Nianija, can you now move the move the motion for the third reading.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I again rise to move the motion that the Medicines and Related Product Amendment Bill 2023 be read a third time and passed.
Lower Saloum. Seconder.
Seconded. What?
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023, having gone through the consideration stage with amendments, be read a third time and passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, can you read the short title?
The Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023.
Honorable members, the bill is deemed to have been passed. Thank you very much. Clerk, can we proceed?
Motion on the adjournment debate, Standing Order 54. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned, signed by the Honorable Minority Leader and Member for Birkama North.
Honorable members, in accordance with the provisions.
Motion.
Pardon? Sorry.
Okay.
Somebody is saying something.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise on 53K. I am rising on clause 53K for the Assembly to extend the committee stage of the intellectual property bill for the Committee on Youth and Sports.
Can you look at your references properly? Is it not 53R and 64.4? You want to extend the committee stage of the bills?
Yeah, 53R, Honorable Speaker. Sorry about that.
All right. Honorable members, I think also committee chairpersons should endeavor to make sure that they work hard on these bills at committee levels, so that there may not be extension, there may not be need for extension. If there are loopholes, we send it back to the executive. Any seconder to the motion? Honorable Member for Sandu.
I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, invoking orders 53R and 66.4, it's been moved that intellectual properties bill be the committee stage to extend beyond to next session. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The committee is now committee stage is extended to next session. Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Honorable Speaker, I also rise on the same clauses 53R to extend the committee stage of the bills before the Human Rights Committee, the criminal procedure bill, the offenses, legal practitioners, Criminal Procedure Bill.
Criminal Procedure Bill.
And the Offences Bill.
Criminal Procedures Bill.
Yes, and the Criminal Offences Bill.
Procedures Bill. And then?
Offences Bill.
Criminal Offences Bill.
And the Legal Practitioners, Legal Practitioners Bill. Amendment Bill before the
Legal
Committee of
Amendment Bill.
Human Rights and Constitutional Matters.
Practitioners Amendment. Those are the three.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable member for Ol Yundum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that this honorable assembly do consider to extend the committee stage of the Criminal Procedures Bill, the Criminal Offences Bill, and the Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill to next session. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Note them down. Yes, Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Yeah, thank you very much. I also stand on the same order to ask for a extension on the bill before project monitoring and implementation. That is a public facilities bill.
Bill? Huh?
Public facilities bill.
Public facilities?
Yes, bill. That is before the project monitoring and implementation committee.
Public facilities bill?
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's the only bill.
Now move the motion now.
I move the motion to grant permission from the plenary to extend the committee stage for public facilities bill before project monitoring and implementation committee.
Second, honorable members. Honorable member for Sami.
Thank you. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this assembly do consider to extend the committee stage of the public facilities bill to the next session. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on the order 53R to move a motion that we extend the committee stage of the animal health bills on the Joint Committee of Agriculture and Health. Thank you.
What is the name of the bill?
Animal Health Bill. Health Bill.
Honorable members, can anybody, do we have a seconder? Honorable member for Kian Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this honorable assembly do consider to extend the committee stage of the animal health bill to the next session. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, in accordance with provisions of Orders 13.5 and 54.1 of the Standing Orders, the Honorable Minority Leader and Member for Brikama North will move a motion for the Assembly to adjourn sine die.
Motion.
Before allowing him to do so, who is talking about a motion? Honorable Member for Lower Saloum. Honorable Member for Woolly East. Woolly East, what was happening? It's Woolly East. Woolly East, what is the problem?
Honorable Speaker, I want to move a motion for Assembly to limit the allotted time to 8 minutes for each member to participate in the adjournment debate.
Honorable members, whatever it takes, we are going to finish today. Whether we regulate ourselves or we don't, we will sit to finish. Yes. And those that used to speak and then go away, they will be the last to speak today. I have noted them down. I have been asking the table office to be recording for me those who speak and go. And I have also asked him ever since that at the close of business, let him note down the names of those who were present at the time. That is for our records. No, you know, members also have a free will to come in and go out. They can even absent themselves. That's their right. You cannot manipulate with that. But they are also, the people that they represent should also know that members are sitting to finish, or they are not coming, or they are doing something else. We owe that also to our people. So it is being moved that we sit, the time be limited to 8 minutes. Any seconder? Banjul Central.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it's been moved and seconded that each member be allotted not more than 8 minutes during the adjournment debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker.
Division, please.
Honorable members, am I hearing division?
Yes, please.
Who is saying division?
Fonyi Jarol.
Huh? Fonyi Jarol.
Yes.
To speak today. Division now. Those in favor of the motion moved and seconded, you can raise your tax. Those not in favor of the motion, raise your tax. Those abstaining from voting, raise your tax. Abstention. Honorable members, I think we will also try to improve with the office of the clerk. So when we vote, people know what each and every member voted for or against or abstained. Because people come here to ask, oh, this thing, which members did voted yes or no? And we don't have records. We only have numbers. So we will try to improve on that so that, especially on important issues, we record them. Honorable members, those who agreed with the motion 31, those against the motion no 8, abstention 4. So the ayes have it. Honorable members, as I said, in accordance with the provisions of Order 13.5 and 54.1 of the Standing Orders, the Honorable Minority Leader and Member for Brikama North will move a motion for the Assembly to adjourn, sign, die. But before doing so, I wish to draw the attention of the Assembly to Order 54.3 of the Standing Orders, which reads, during the debate on the motion on the adjournment debate of a session, no honorable member in this particular issue shall speak, so no honorable member shall speak more than 15 minutes, except that the speaker may, at his or her discretion, allow the mover of the motion extra time for his or her reply. But this time, no member shall speak for more than 8 minutes. With my discretion, due to the exigency of time, honorable members, I wish to appeal to honorable members to be judicious in their interventions and make maximum use of their time and avoid repetitive deliberations. Finally, honorable members, I want to take note of the relevant provisions of the standing orders regarding the adjournment debate. May I now invite the honorable member for Brikama North and Minority Leader to move the motion for this assembly to adjourn, sign, die. What? He said, only raise your hand.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion for the adjournment of the Assembly, sign, die, pursuant to sections 98(1)(b) of the 1997 Constitution, and in accordance with orders 13.5 and 54.1 of the Standing Orders 2019 as revised. Honorable Speaker, aware that this August Assembly began sitting during the third ordinary session from the period 4 to 22nd September 2023, and further aware that the second ordinary session was scheduled by the Assembly Business Committee to complete business today, and further appreciating that this August Assembly has during this session dealt with almost all the business scheduled in the agenda, and considering the global annual agenda of this August Assembly, and especially the statutory well-deserved annual recess for the honorable members, I invite the support for this strenuous motion. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, throughout the deliberations of the Assembly during the third ordinary session, the Assembly considered and adopted records of votes and proceedings of the daily sitting as required by Order 35.2 of the Standing Orders. Honorable Speaker, considering Section 77(1) and 4 of the 1997 Constitution, Standing Order 24, and this Assembly's quest to ensure greater scrutiny and accountability towards the executive. We continued the courteous but thoughtful interaction with the executive, receiving His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, and honorable ministers who answered to oral questions and attended to other business related to respective portfolios. Honorable Speaker, in a similar disposition, the Assembly administered oral questions and answers sessions with honorable ministers as it concerns their respective portfolios, departments, and agencies, according to Standing Order 41. The following honorable ministers appear before this Assembly to answer orally to questions asked by honorable members, for which the honorable ministers were duly notified. 1. His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic. 2. Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources. 3. Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Energy. 4. Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Water Resources. 5. Honorable Minister for Basic and Secondary Education. 6. Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture. 7. Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians Abroad. And 8. Honorable Minister for Defense. 9. Honorable Minister for Communications and Digital Economy. On a similar note, pursuant to Standing Order 100, the foreign ministers present the replies to the following parliamentary reports. 1. Honorable Minister for Agriculture, reply to the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Welfare, spot check to pediatric maternity and lab wards at Edward Francis Small Chicken Hospital and Children's Center in Bakoti from 13 to 14 February 2023. And 2. Honorable Minister for Interior, report of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, visit to detention facilities across the country, September 2022. Honorable Speaker, this August Assembly witnessed the tabling and unfortunate withdrawal of the following motions. 1. Motion to ratify the Arms Trade Treaty Agreement ATT by the Honorable Minister for Defense. 2. Motion to ratify the agreement between the Government of the Gambia and the Swiss Federal Council on Cooperation in Migration Matters by Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and Gambians Abroad. 3. Motion to ratify Arms Trade Treaty Agreement ATT by Honorable Minister for Defense. And 4. Motion to ratify the African Road Safety Charter by the Honorable Minister for Transport Works and Infrastructure. 5. Motion to ratify the UN Road Safety Convention on Road Traffic 1968. 6. Motion to ratify the UN Road Safety Convention on Road Signs and Signals 1968. 7. Motion to ratify the UN Road Safety Convention on European Agreement for International Carriage of Dangerous Goods by Road 1957, all by Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure. The Assembly ratified the motion to ratify the UNESCO Convention on means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property by Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, in terms of bills, this August Assembly considered the following bills during the session: the Judiciary Officer Remuneration and Order Entitlement Bill 2023 by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Alagie Mbow, Member for Upper Saloum, and the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Amadou Camara, Member for Nianija, and finally Anti-Corruption Bill 2023 by Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Honorable Speaker, just recently, the two bills have been passed this morning: the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Alagie Mbow and the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Amadou Camara, members for Upper Saloum and Nianija, respectively. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the following reports of the undermentioned parliamentary committees were considered and adopted. One, report of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee on the 2019 audited accounts of the government, Auditor General's report on COVID-19 response, phase 2, annual activity reports and audited financial statements of the public agencies, institutions, area and municipal council by the chairpersons of the committee, and 2, the report of the Gambian delegation to the second ordinary session of the 6th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament held in Midland, Republic of South Africa from the 8th May to 2nd June 2023 by the head of the delegation. Honorable Speaker, on matters of the day, Honorable Speaker permitted and the Assembly consider the following matters of the day. 1, the swearing of the 3 pleas of Honorable Speaker, sorry for that. Matters of the day, Honorable Speaker permitted the Assembly consider the following matters of the day. 1, the ban of female circumcision in the Gambia by Honorable Member for Central Badibu, and 2, sitting of the 3 police officers of the Gambia Police Force by the Majority Leader and Member for Kantora constituency. Finally, Honorable Speaker, today this August Assembly here to commence the motion to adjourn, shall and die. I had the opportunity on the last adjournment debate to speak on the trust and confidence bestowed on this Assembly by the citizens with its corresponding expectations, and assure citizens that it is well within the notice of this August Assembly. Through this motion, I wish to reiterate this assurance to the fellow citizens. Therefore, once again, I would like to seize this opportunity on behalf of both halves of the Assembly to assure citizens of our beloved country of the unwavering commitment of this August Assembly to serve the supreme interests of the nation diligently. This Assembly takes special notice of the security situation of our country, especially the killing of the 2 police officers and then the wounding of 1. This is a matter of concern for all, and this Assembly is committed to joining the Executive to resolve this issue and all matters of national concern. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, in order to help the executive in effective administration of our beloved country, this Assembly must ensure that all mechanism steps are taken for accountability and transparency to prevail. I call on both sides of the Assembly to further commit to this agenda. Collectively, we can overcome the economic security and other social challenges we face as a people and a nation, and I call on the executive to stay awake to the realities of the plight of the citizen in terms of the economy, social challenges, rising crimes, the unexplained deportation of our citizens from several European countries, the poor state of our sporting facility, deteriorating education and agriculture sector, and growing agitation and impatience of the citizenry for a meaningful and realistic security sector reform. Honorable Speaker, I thank fellow honorable members for their foresight and dedication to duty during this session. It has been a remarkable session full of participation from all members. Honorable Speaker, thank you for the manner in which you have continued to handle the affairs of this Assembly competently and professionally. I pray that Allah, the Almighty, grants you the strength and wisdom to continue steering the affairs of this Assembly. I equally extend the same appreciation to Deputy Speaker for competently deputizing for you severally during this session. Thank you. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I also would like to thank the Clerk of the National Assembly, his deputies, and the entire staff of the National Assembly Service for all support and services rendered to honorable members during this session. On that note, I thank you Honorable Speaker, and I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader. Any seconder?
Yes. Sabasanya. Sabasanya.
Pardon? I call upon the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion and also to participate in the debate. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the mover of the motion, who is Honorable for Brikama North, and also to thank all honorable members who has worked tirelessly during the time of this session, and your humble self, Honorable Speaker, and the entire staff of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, I would like to also use this opportunity to pray for those that lost their lives by an attack meted on them by an individual, and to pray that Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. It has been also brought to my notice that the Honorable Minister of Agriculture is brief that his brother also passed away. I pray that all those that lost their lives be granted Jannatul Firdaus. Honorable Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of the National Assembly that it is heart-touching in my constituency at the moment as we speak, that some of the students who are traveling from those villages going to Farafenye to attend secondary school, they're finding it very difficult at the moment. The reason is that considering the distance from Farafenye to Sabah Ward, as I always bring this to the notice of the National Assembly members and also to the chair of the Education Committee to take note that actually Sabah Ward is also part of the Gambia, and the people in Sabah Ward are really suffering at the moment because we don't have any secondary school in that ward, Honorable Speaker. And this is definitely worrying. Honorable Speaker, Section 30 of the Constitution, if you may allow me to read, states, and I quote, that subsection B, secondary education, including technical and vocational education, shall be made generally available and accessible to all by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free education. But, Honorable Speaker, this has not been realized in the whole of that ward in Sabah. To the Minister of Energy, we realize that there is what you call the Rural Electrification Expansion Project. But we have seen that some of the villages in my constituency are not benefiting at the moment. It's like the cable is just running through, jumping from one village to the next, and not actually covering all the villages. So we want to put it to him that at least let them consider those villages that are not yet benefiting. To the Ministry of Agriculture, we thank them for reducing the fertilizer, because in Sabah Sanjal we have most of us depend on farming, but also we are urging them to give us a better price for groundnut, because we are expecting a very heavy harvest this year. So we want them to give us a better price, inshallah. To youth and sports, we don't have any skills training center in Sabah Sanjal, no mini stadium. And they should not only be concentrating in Banjul and the Combos. We have potential Gambians, potential youth in our constituency Of recently, one of our great footballers has been, shined by Real de Banjul, and I want to congratulate them for that. To the Minister of Finance, the Badia project, there was a facility that we shined, that we approved at the National Assembly, and still now we have not seen it, being beneficial to the Gambians. I'm urging the Ministry of Finance to make sure that they fast track so that at least we can benefit from that facility, which is to help Gambian businessmen to import basic living commodities at a cheaper price. At least that process should be speed up so that we can start benefiting from that. And also the smart farming project, which is to be launched by Ministry of Agriculture. They should also consider areas in the rural areas where we have also secured land for them at no cost. So we are definitely looking forward to some of the major developments and the major projects that are coming. To the foreign affairs, they should also ensure that partners respect the integrity of our land, especially those that are in Europe. Members are here suffering to get their visas to go to the European Parliament. This is a call of concern. We want the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage their partners to make sure that those members who are part of the European Parliament will find it easy to get their visas whenever they are called for a meeting or so. Honorable Speaker, I also want to pray for that lady, that police woman who was shot and is currently lying on the beds of the hospitals, to also regain and get speedy recovery. With those simple remarks, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sabak Samjal. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this August Assembly do consider the motion for this ordinary session to stand adjourned, signed, die. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate now may do so. I have a list of about 33 so far. I'll begin with Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I must commend my colleague, honorable members, who has been successfully attending this third ordinary session 2023. Honorable Speaker, I must...
Honorable members, I had people gossiping about the calls. Honorable, it has nothing to do with table office. Honorable member, you know that. There is no confirmation about it. Is it responsible to call people?
I confirm, then I will know how to...
No, you don't need to confirm that.
Then I will know how to approach you.
It is always the speaker who calls. He just an aide. He just assists me. So you don't talk about him.
But you are
point at me.
No, you also need to apply justice.
Pardon?
You need to apply justice. If you ask us to raise our tag, if I'm the first to raise, consideration need to be given. Because we stay here.
Because I have not called you, it's not justice.
Yes.
If I had called you, it would be justice. And you know very well, honorable member for Central Badibu, that it says, whoever catches my eye first. You can be in front of me, I'm not seeing you. So please, honorable members, it has nothing to do with table office. Sometimes I have problems with him in his write-ups. So, but it's my prerogative. If you have any blames, any cause to blame anybody, you blame me. Honorable member, can you continue? Can you start again and start his timing?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity once again. Honorable Speaker, I must first submit my condolences to the families and the Gambians at large for the brief of the two gallant police officers that lost their life on their active duties. Honorable Speaker, I must submit this to the Honorable House that I am shocked. I was shocked, and I feel threatened, and I feel uncomfortable in a society where this kind of thing has never been known. It comes to me at a surprise that a living human being can just get across on our armed men in the street, daylight, to shoot them to death. Honorable Speaker, I'm putting this across to the executive to take the necessary measures to make sure this thing is used as a deterrent for a safe. This is the only thing we have: safety, the security, and then the peacefulness of our country. This is what has given Gambia to get a space in the West African sub-region. If we are to play with our peace and security in whatever way we want to be naming it to be, I myself and the people of my constituency, we are denouncing it in totality. Gambia is known to be very peaceful. Gambia is known to be very respectful. If we can see dead bodies in the streets, not on a raid, but on men that are on their duties, trying to save our properties and our lives, we see them lying down, being gunned down, I am not happy and I feel threatened. And I am putting it to the executive to take the necessary measures to make sure Gambians are safe. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know how comes it can be, but we still need further strengthening of our security armsmen to make sure that we drive along the streets of this country safe, and we get home safe, and we get to our houses and live in our houses safely. Honorable Speaker, I was away when this was happening. When I came back, I thought I would have found the streets. Security checks have been mounted, and I'm seeing it to be as if no life is lost. And the executive must take necessary measures, and Gambians must feel that there is something that we lost. You cannot arm somebody, you cannot put somebody in uniform, assign him to be at a station. He just died like that. It's like, to me, it's like an animal just get hit by a motor vehicle and then he's just taken to death. We need to feel this. Gambians need to feel this together collectively to make sure that our security armsmen, our security men are protected first before we think about our own protection. What a society are we in? What a society do we think we are trying to develop? Everything is array. People are doing whatever they like in society. It's like there is no order. And the Constitution is here to be protected. The Constitution is here to be guided. We are here as people to be protected. And who are responsible? The three arms of government. I am also urging my honorable members to take their mandate to make sure that they work with the executive and the judiciary to make sure that this kind of things is halted. Gambians, we are known for our peacefulness. The Gambia is a smiling coast for Africa. It cannot be a source for insurgency to be hunting down people, killing them in their uniform. So where are we? Where are our children? Where are the market vendors that are in the street? It's like, if anybody has anything against anyone, you can just gun him down and make your way. We need the executive to come forward, the Ministry of Interior, Defense, and other ministries that share the security of this country to give us a tangible and a reasonable update for Gambians to be at peace. I am scared, and my people are scared. We cannot live in a country like this. Just to be listening on people making their necessary investigations to make sure. These things are unacceptable. They are unacceptable and they are painful. I cannot smile if I didn't see this thing is being followed to the root. Honorable Speaker, I feel threatened and I'm not comfortable as an honorable member to serve people here. I am always worried to walk from home to my office, and then I'll feel scared to close from office to my home, and even being on my bed. What are we waiting for? We should all shout it up together to denounce it and go against it. I was away and I felt embarrassed because this thing is spread across the world. If the incident is being read by the outsiders, they keep laughing at us. We therefore need to equip our security men. They need to be well equipped if we want them to be serving us. Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, I am sorry if I may speak otherwise, but I'm speaking my mind. This thing has moved me. It has taken me far away from where I used to be, and I feel threatened and I'm not comfortable. Let the ministries of Interior and Defense work diligently to make sure that the lives and properties of Gambians are being protected. Without that, we don't have a country. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kombo East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me thank my colleague, the Office of the Clerk, the media fraternity, both print and electronic. Honorable Speaker, I will start where my colleague stopped from Kombo East with regard of the shooting of these paramilitaries at the Sukuta traffic light. I was forced to send condolences to the families. Honorable Speaker, it is really threatening now if the people that should secure us are not secured. That's a very serious trend. And then I believe our security men should be dressed as security personnel. Because if you see how the incident happened, these people were there trying to protect the country. But they themselves, they were not protected. Because if they were there with their pistols, that guy who attacked them would know that definitely the people that I'm going to attack are armed. But they are just left like that. The criminal also, they don't only come and then attack. They study the situation. They study how our own security personnel are armed or how they are prepared before they attack them. So when the criminal found them without any arm, then he definitely have the courage to go and attack them. So I believe when there is an order for any security officer to go and mark a checkpoint, make sure the individual is given the necessary gadget. Because probably if they were having their life jacket, they are bulletproof in their bodies, maybe they might be wounded, but they were just there as a civilian. So honestly, I think the Ministry of Interior and then Defense Ministry need to make sure that their policemen, police officers, policemen and women, once they are designated to go and mark a checkpoint, let them be given all what they need as a security officer. So that eventually anything that might happen, they can retaliate. But if somebody faces you as a security officer, a criminal faces you, he is armed, you are not armed, at the end, what will result? It's an embarrassment. He might even run. And then they say, okay, the police officer have won. But then the police officer also, or any security officer, you need something at least to build your courage. So let them be given the necessary arms and protection so that anytime they are out, they are safe. Honorable Speaker, let me come to issue of my constituency before my time will finish. Yesterday, the Minister of Energy gave us a list, a comprehensive list that indicates almost every constituency in this country when it comes to electricity. In my own constituency, Honorable Speaker, I think other than Janjambure, I have the smallest constituency. That's have 26 villages. And then I have seen the villages that they indicated, but maybe they don't know the location of the village. Coming from Choya, the biggest village that you enter, coming to Nyamina Dankunku is Dankunku itself. But I can see Dankunku is not included in the list, and Dankunku is exactly on the highway. So I can see they will pick another villages that is off the road, but villages that you know they are on the road, they are left out. And then I think if the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Energy is here, so then he can take note. Honorable Speaker, I would also make an intervention. Honorable Speaker, recently we passed the SOE bill. This SOE is supposed to regulate the state-owned enterprises. Honorable Speaker, it is sometimes very sad when you talk about the issue of GAMTEL. I think GAMTEL is one of the best institutions in those days when government budgets were tabled. I can remember in those days. When it comes to GAMTEL, GAMTEL were very productive in those days. But nowadays, GAMTEL is an institution that might be struggling. And then I think this August Assembly must look at it. As a committee member of PEC, Honorable Speaker, GAMTEL basic revenue was supposed to be the international gateway. So, but in 2019, the gateway was removed from GAMTEL and be liberalized. And to my surprise, Honorable Speaker, a condition that this August Assembly took, a 25 million grant, was tabled here in 2019 on condition to government that before we can give you the $25 million, you must accept liberalizing the gateway. And that was $25 million. It was approved here. But that was the condition of IMF to government then. You must accept 25 to liberalize the international gateway, then we will give you $25 million. Honorable Speaker, it's sad. When I make my research, in 2019, when GAMTEL was working with Global Voice in managing the international gateway, in 14 months, Global Voice, in 14 months, managed to terminate 13 million minutes. If the minute was charged at that time 0.2 cents, this is in dollars, not dollars. The net revenue generated was $34 million, 520,674.5. Then GAMTEL as an institution received $14 million, 614.89. Then GAMTEL said to government, 1,047,329. Now, okay, look at that revenue. That was in 2009. Then Spectrum managed it. Spectrum managed to score $8 million. GAMTEL got $7 million. Government 875. System
Honorable, your time is up. 30 seconds round up.
If Gamtel work with an international institution to generate this huge amount of money, why accepting a $25 million? A $25 million on a condition grant, and which this August Assembly approved without being informed. This was the condition then. So look at that huge amount of money. This thing, I think, the government or any institution responsible should try and work out so that Gamtel regain their international gateway.
Honorable Member.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the chance. I would like to seize this opportunity to join my colleagues in paying a condolence to the bereaved families and also to wish our dear sister speedy recovery. On behalf of the people of Nyani, I would like to thank National Road Authority for helping us to construct a culvert in one of the most deadly waterways between Karawa and Sanda. Honorable Speaker, looking at the education sector in this country, less than 1 week ago, the worst results are released. Statistically, out of the number that registered, over 17,201 registered, 16,405 sat to the exam. Out of the number that sat to the exam, is only 921 students that met the university requirement, giving it a percentage of 5. If this is the trend in which our education sector is moving, time will come, we'll find it very difficult to feed our university. We definitely need to look at the education sector. The country cannot move without education. Looking at the welfare of teachers, Honorable Speaker, the house rent for $250 is, even the smallest village in Foyi, you cannot get a house there for $250. I urge the Minister for Basic and Secondary Education to look at that issue. The staff quarters and other welfares of teachers, which are of great concern, really need to be looked at. Honorable Speaker, moving forward to the health sector, the only regional hospital that we are hoping on, that's Bansang Hospital. During the recess time I was in Bansang, I spent some time there at the hospital. If you look at the nature of the hospital, unavailability of drugs, everything you have to go and buy. Sometimes I wonder the management there or what is actually wrong with the system there. Electricity is on and off. In a night, you may experience it 2, 3 to 4 times on and off. And it is very deadly in a hospital like Bansang, missing electricity for even 30 seconds, because if it met them on operation, so many things can happen. That issue also is an issue that definitely need to be looked at. Honorable Speaker, over to my area now, constituency Nyani. I thank the Honorable Minister, at least for energy, for pushing up that percentage from 8% at least to 26% that we are expecting to benefit from electricity. Compared to what happened before, because out of the 87 villages that we have, We now, at least 23 villages will be benefiting from electricity, which gives it a percentage of 26%, which is at least better than the 8% that was in place. In our health center as well, Kuntaur Major Health Center, it is very hard to believe and very hard to accept that our pregnant women there are giving birth on naked iron beds. I went there the other time. When I get to the labor ward, so those iron beds, they are not covered with anything. I wonder, how will you experience or how will you expect somebody in labor with that pain lying on those dry beds to give birth? It's an issue that definitely needs to be looked at. We have a building as you are just entering. It has been started, they have started the building so long. The minister has been there, I went there with him, but still now, nothing is done about that building. I always ask myself, when will that building to be completed? It's a question that needs to be answered, and definitely we need consideration in that particular area. Honorable Speaker, the other issue here is the unfinished battle-hardened highway, the number of accidents that are recorded in that particular highway. Day in, day out, almost every day, there will be an accident in that particular area. What is wrong with our drivers? Anything that affects the drivers, they will get stuck. Anything that affects the population, they will not talk about it. I'm urging, I'm hoping to hear from the transport union to say something about that particular issue. We cannot be losing our Gambians. We cannot be losing our people in the same highway. A highway that is not yet finished. A highway that is under construction. The vehicles are just knocking people there day in, day out. Hardly a day ends without hearing a particular incident or accident in that particular area. Honorable Speaker, looking at the road network, I've been singing it here, and I will continue to say it, because we are the only constituency that is unfortunate when it comes to road network. Apart from the highway that split and goes to Jenyambre, there is no other connection. We are losing our people. We are losing our pregnant women. I've said it here in the other debate. When someone died as a result of cervical tears, because the individual is to be carried on a donkey cart before we reach at the hospital, she died. Looking at the nature of the road, the condition of the road, sometimes when I'm there, my car is labeled as an ambulance. I said yes, because at least no matter how it is better than using a donkey cart or using a horse cart to the highway. People will even confront me. I can remember there was one of the days, early morning, when the nurses asked me what is going on, because you have to be going in and out. You come in, there's another labor case, I have to ask my driver to go and pick that guy and take the individual to the hospital. We definitely need consideration in terms of road, or at least if we can benefit a community ambulance in the eastern part there, that will definitely help us. Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyani. I now invite the Honorable Member for Serekunda West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for your consideration. Honorable Speaker, I first of all want to thank the government of the day for coming up with a travel ban, pointing to the fact that the state has been spending a lot of money on travels. But the fact that the government is recognizes that, and took a very bold step to come up with that ban, I think they need to be thanked for that. These are the kind of thinkings we are expecting from the government so that we can progress. Honorable Speaker, however, I would also want to suggest to government that the ban on travel is a good measure, but then let them also consider the downsizing of delegations and also the frequency of travels. If that is also factored in future, I think we'll save a lot so that monies that go into those kind of travels can be plowed into our development sector. Honorable Speaker, I also want to thank the two sides of the House, particularly the FPAC, with the very good and strong resolutions that were passed here. Since we have, as a government or as a country, we've lost a lot of money. And we need to put a stop to that. With those resolutions, I think that will also serve very well in terms of recovering and saving future reckless spending of public funds. Honorable Speaker, however, I was thinking that the FPAC will also be able to capture in their reports the unretired impress that has been sitting in people's pocket for over 7 years now. I remember in 2017 when we came here, this unretired impress that are still with people was at the tune of $31 million. But as at the end of April of this year, it stands at 21 million. I did promise that I was going to list all the names, call out all the names that are holding this impress. But after a second thought, I would not read the entire list, but I will pick out a few who has the highest amount of impress still with them. Among them is Dr. Njogu Elba, who is still holding $5 million impress, not retired. Again, there is another Amadou Camara, who is also holding $5 million on retired impress. Honorable Speaker, there are some with hundreds of thousands of dollars, some with $1 million, and so on and so forth. If you accumulate all of them, it's over $20 million in people's pocket, monies of taxpayers, which was given to them to carry on a function. And we all know the circumstances around impress. You are given impress, you go. When you come back, you retire with receipts and other things. But if still we have over 20 million sitting in people's pockets, some of whom are no longer working with the government, this is really terrible. And I think the FPAC report should have captured that. And a resolution also should be attached to that. Even though they told us in their previous reports that they have an argument with government or with Minister of Finance. But the members of parliament are not privileged to those arrangements. But all what we know is these monies are still with these people. Some of them are not working, still somewhere with the government. So I think we need to do something about it. Honorable Speaker, I want to shift my attention to Serekunda West. There is a stream that runs across 4 main communities in Serekunda West. I think it comes all the way from Abuko, going through Bundung, Serekunda, and then Serekunda West. But in Serekunda West, 4 main communities are affected. Dibakunda is affected, there is Dibakunda Tube Town, Manja is affected, Kotu is affected, Latikunda is affected.
it makes communication very difficult between these two communities because it cut the communities apart. That stretch has two main bridges, one in Manjai and one in Kotu. I would call on government to consider putting up an extra two so that it can ease the movement of people from one end to the other, especially when it rains. And those locations would be Dibakunda Tube Town, because the Dibakunda Tube Town is densely populated, and there's a lot of crisscrossing between Dibakunda and Manjai. So if that place is bridged, it will ease movement, and even cars can use it, just like what is happening at the Manjai and the Kotu end. If that is done, that will help a lot. Honorable Speaker, like I said, I don't have to waste the time of the House. And for those who are saying, I just raised my tag and I'm giving, but I'm telling you, I lost my sister, half-sister, and I have to go to the burial immediately. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Serekunda West. I now invite the Honorable nominated member, Maimuna Sise.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I would like to join my colleagues to extend my sincere condolences to the grieving families. May Allah have mercy on their souls. I would like to have a special prayer for my niece, which is the only surviving female officer, and wishing her a very speedy recovery. Honorable Speaker, I think the predicament we found ourselves in this country at this juncture is all geared from the hate speech. The hate speech is consuming the country, and I think it's a cause of a concern to every one of us. What we found ourselves in on the 12th of September is a very new thing to Gambia. It's hard to believe if a Gambian can have a heart, have the mentality to hurt a fly, much more a human being, much more a police officer who was there to protect you and your properties. Honorable Speaker, the hate speech is an alarming bell in this country. And anytime it rings, the greater danger our country is. Gambians, we were shocked that fateful day. I can remember in my younger age when we had a murder case. When somebody is murdered and the culprit is arrested, normally they put the person with the same vehicle with the car. At least for them to be scared by seeing somebody whom you kill is lifeless now, sitting in front of that person. That trauma alone will deter people doing such. But nowadays, the political hatred in this country will plunge this country into chaos one day if we don't remedy what is happening. Honorable Speaker, my appeal will be to the government and the Minister of Interior to capacitize their men in uniform, for them to perform their duties, what Gambians were expected from them. Hadn't been done fateful day, out of the 3 officers, somebody was armed. I bet somebody could easily gun down the culprits. But they are armless, they are defenseless. What do we expect? And as long as we are going the way we are going, if the situation doesn't change, this is a signal of a sectarian violence. This is the way it starts. Somebody will start it at the corner another person will be around somewhere. It's a cane walk. I am seeing more to this because I spent a little time in West. Some of these operations, they are not, this man is not alone in this. Either we believe it or not, or later, but there is more to this. He's not operating alone, and it's kind of an operational gang. And the way, according to the press conference I listened to from the police, you know, when they are doing such an operation, they have their way in and way out. They have plan A and the plan B. It has been premeditated. They will be briefing them. If it is succeeded, this is your way out. If it is not succeeded, this is your way out. The culprit is under custody right now. He is calculating what he is supposed to say and what not to. And now on this, on endless democracy we thought we have, is putting the Gambia into a problem. Let the government take the responsibility. Every position comes with the responsibility. We are begging the Inspector General of Police, let them leave, don't leave any stone unturned. Let them save the Gambia. They are the only source we rely on. But if our men in uniform are scared even to perform their duties, then we are not safe where we are heading in this country. The Inspector General of Police, we are calling you loudly. I am soundly calling you. This case is a murder case and it's a test case for Gambia. This is the first experience Gambia will ever have. We call it as people condemn that it's a terror attack, but I'm saying it's a terror attack. Nobody should doubt that. This is not the Gambia we know. Gambians cannot be so heartless to this point, but it's all emanated from somewhere, the hate speech. We have seen some members, even belongs to this honorable house here, writing certain comments on social media, and which we thought that we are the foundations, we are the pillars of the law and security of this country, because we are the lawmakers. If the lawmakers they themselves can write on their social media pages, advocating for eye to eye on our security forces, it's pathetic. And I think there is a law and ethics in this National Assembly that should deter us. We need to be honorable, not only be calling for honorable or the clothes we are wearing as an honorables, but our performance, our deliverance need to show who we are. We have to respect these chambers. This chamber is where people looking at us, giving us the title and the mandate to serve them. Let's respect ourselves. You don't have to love the country and not the president. You don't have to love the government, but love the country you belong to. Peace is priceless. We all are here shouting. But when there was no peace, we all look for sanity where we can find a refuge. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I will continue shouting for the Inspector General and his security apparatus. Let us put more effort. If it is necessary for them to invite the international forensic investigators to come and investigate to save.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nominated Member, Maimuna Sise. I now call upon the Honorable Member for Talinding Kunja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for yet another opportunity to speak my mind on current issues and important issues, either in my constituency or in the country at large. So I shall begin with my constituency, where I'm proud to announce that Talinding now is proud to have a senior secondary school this academic year. Although the Holland Foundation sponsored school is still in progress, but the Ministry of Basic and Secondary School Education deemed it fitting to start grade 10 before the completion of the building. And for that, we want to commend the ministry for that bold initiative, as well as the construction of the school. We wholeheartedly thank the government for the approval and the Holland Foundation for the construction. That being said, the people of Talinding, there are certain areas in Talinding who are suffering in terms of access to potable water, meaning the nearest service pipe for Nawek is way too far from those communities, and it becomes very much a financial burden. They cannot have that financial muscle to apply to extend those pipes, the water services to their areas. As a result, they are without potable water in Talinding, Jiliftikunda, in Talinding, Kolaban as well. It's been many months now I've been on this, and I have to express my dismay with NAWEC in the slow progress of just to do assessment to all the areas in the community in Talinding who are in need of this, so that we make the necessary steps to alleviate those sufferings. The progress is very slow, the feedback is not positive, and even up to yesterday, I was engaging the director of NAWEC with regards to this. And I have to say it categorically clear here, I'm not happy, the people of that area are not happy with the slow pace of the response of the institution. And I think they have to be on their 2 feet to ensure that they provide the services the people of Talinding need. And this is water is life, we all know, and then I have to urge them to be on their feet to ensure that these services are provided. The roads, the minister did inform us that yesterday, that only 10% of the work has been completed. The demolitions have taken place, and everybody is yearning to see the completion of these roads. Up till now, the work has not been ongoing. The reasons advanced are not convincing at all. And whatever it is, I think when people complied and everybody is promised that roads are to be constructed and the monies according to the government is disbursed, nothing should stop the contractor from embarking on these works. And I could remember in the last session, one of my questions to the Honorable Minister for Transport was that, he said he did assure us that the roads around that end is concrete, so it's not be obstructed by rainy season. So we don't expect that to be an excuse that because of the work halted because of the rainy season, because this is concrete, it's not tar road, and we expect that the work will soon begin again, so that the people will continue to enjoy the movement of free movement of goods and services will reemerge again. And finally, the time is very fast for me. I don't know. Finally, I want to add my voice to the recent issue on the table with regards to the infamous killing of our gallant officers in uniform. This issue has exposed the unpreparedness of our security services in terms of failing or fighting against certain crimes. We are no longer in the old centuries. This is 21st century. Gambia and all countries should expect to see sophisticated crime as we move on. And this requires that the police also are up to date in terms of their training, in terms of their equipment, to ensure that they quell those crimes that will emerge in the future. So, unarmed policemen in the streets are no more different like watchmen with sticks. And it makes it very difficult. And I saw, like somebody said, hadn't been the lady who survived the attack had been armed. And I can attest to that because they said he tried to even grip the assailant unsuccessfully. So had it been he had that courage, we salute his courage, her courage rather, we salute her courage for taking that bold step. Had it been she had this arm with her, the story would have been different. But what I want to emphasize is that there's nothing politics in this. This is an attack on every Gambian. It's an attack on every Gambian, be the president or the last farmer. No one should support this, and it's in this time of national crisis, the least we expect is to politicize it. The least we expect is to politicize it. And that is why I am personally disappointed with regards to the conflicted information coming from the different quarters of the same government. It shows that somebody is cooking stories that are not coming from the investigation. Because if one side of the government is saying, Swapani is saying A, the police are saying B, it means somebody is cooking stories to incriminate people who are innocent, to make something, this is disheartening. And this we must condemn in the most strongest terms. The police are equipped to do an investigation. Let us allow them to do their job they are required to do. The spokesperson of the government cannot
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for challenging. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama South. May I now invite the Honorable Member for BANJUL South.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think it was a very unfair statement when you said that some people leave, because whenever we leave the parliament, it's because we have very important matters. Not that parliament is not important, but sometimes it is parliamentary matters.
Honorable, it's not an unfair statement.
No, I'm just speaking my mind.
No, that's your mind is not correct. It's not.
My mind is correct. Because, Mr. Speaker,
it's not true that is. I am saying that you
I'm
leave.
speaking for me.
Honorable, I have taken the floor.
My time is starting.
Honorable, I have taken the floor. You sit down. Honorable, you may express your mind, but your mind should be to yourself. You cannot say I express my mind to allege against people. I have not. Then are you one of those people who are not coming? Because I have not mentioned any member. And then if you are not coming, you are not taking permission not to come. So please, and that's what the rules that regulate us, that's what it says. You cannot just come and say anything you want against people. No, it's not a fair statement. And also, I have not called your name. You only felt guilty. Yes, did I call anybody's name? Please take the floor.
You cannot. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the floor. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to address the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. And thank you, Mr. Honorable Member for Nani, for pointing out on the appalling result, which last week I asked a question on, and the minister blatantly denied that. I've been vindicated because the results yet again have been appallingly poor. We are very interested in the education of our children, and I think we should remind the Honorable Minister that the education of our children are very important, and we want her to, again, going back to my question, to revisit the curriculum and make sure that she is giving our children the education that they deserve, the education that they need, and giving the teachers the remuneration that they deserve, what they need to ensure that our children are well educated. Because least educated children is a bleak nation, and we want our children to be given the same education that I was given in primary school and in high school. I have never been into any private school. I went to government school, in primary school and in high school. And that is what I am expecting this government to give to the next generation of this Gambia, to give them good education, invest in good education, invest in good health, Mr. Speaker. And I want the Honorable Minister, the technicians of the Honorable Minister, to take that back to her and to tell her that what he said in this August Assembly, that where St. Mary's Primary School, to be precise, is on a premises of a mission-owned property, which I am saying is not. St. Mary's at the moment, since 2000, has been on the property of government, and it is where Malfa School used to be. And I'm saying it again, he said it, she said it here, that it is on a mission property, and I'm saying that that is not the case. And when we ask questions in this August Assembly, we do not ask to ridicule the ministers. We do not ask to make ourselves big. We ask on behalf of our citizens. We ask on behalf of the people that sent us to this August Assembly for their matters to be catered for and their needs to be taken care of, Mr. Speaker. So I think the honorable ministers should be aware of those things, and when they come to answer, they shouldn't say things that they are not aware of, because that school, since 2020, has been in the premises where Malfa used to be, and we all know that that is owned by the government. Mr. Speaker, Gambians are very intelligent. They are very smart and are very educated. So I am wondering where those people are for them to serve us in these ministries, to represent us in these ministries, for them to deliver. Because even in the Constitution, it is said that before you are giving a ministry to man, you should be competent in that field. The minister is very competent in that field. So why is she not delivering? So what I am saying is, when you are given position, you are blinded. And I would say corruption. And you are blinded by the fact that you want to hold on to your job at the expense of the nation. When you are given a position, put everything aside and serve, because you are being paid to serve us and to deliver. And Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is 3 consecutive years, the WASIC results have been appallingly poor. And my colleague just mentioned 5%. Come on. Last year, it was about 4-point-something%. And I heard the minister say that there's improvement. Improvement in what? Less than 1% increment? Is that what they give to their own children? Mr. Speaker, I spent a lot in my child's education because they are my children. The children of the Gambia are the children of this government. And it is the duty of this government to invest in them. My government, the government I grew up in, invested in me because I never paid for school fees. I went to government primary school. I went to Gambia High School. I never paid a dime. That is why I am here today, being able to express myself. And I want in 15 years' time, somebody else, somebody's child, to come here and stand and represent this country. But unfortunately, this government is not doing so. Mr. Speaker, I would also join my colleagues to condemn the killing of these policemen, and also join them to make sure that it is not politicized. We are not blaming any government. We are blaming ourselves for not protecting the police. So what I am appealing this August Assembly to ensure that the budget of the interior is fully equipped to ensure that most of the things that they lack are given to them. And Mr. Speaker, road safety. Mr. Speaker, I see some of the National Assembly members driving, covering their number plates, and that is against the laws of this country. Mr. Speaker, we should lead by example. When we drive, we shouldn't hide. I am proud to say that I am being given a car by the office, and if the public is against it, well, that is their opinion. I shouldn't hide that I'm driving a National Assembly car. I do my work, and I deserve it. Whatever other people think, yes, that is their opinion, that is their problem. But, Mr. Speaker, I think we should lead by example and stop covering. We are not covering the benefits that they are giving us, the allowances we keep. So the cars we should expose for the public to see. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul South. Honorable members, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul South. Honorable members, we'll be here for long today. Yesterday, we had to stay until finish when most people could not have their meals and pray. we will suspend session for now and go for prayers and lunch. It's already 14:30, 2:31, 22 going. When do we come back? Honorable members, last time you said 30 minutes, I gave you 45 minutes, you came 1 hour, some minutes later. So, honorable members, and even starting the session, members will come. I observe that members come to Parliament this time around early. But members don't come to chambers on time. No, honorable member for Central Badibu, withdraw that statement. You are not saying the truth. I always come here before you. No, honorable member, please. No, you have to come to chamber before I come in. I have to be called to come to chambers. So if I am not called, so honorable member, members mostly I am told are here on time. Our problem is to come to chambers. And you cannot start, we should start at 10. If we cannot start at 10:30, sometimes we start up to 12 o'clock. Because we cannot get the quorum in the chambers. So we must change that.